Welcome back, everybody. Now today I'm taking a look at the As Seen on TV Bionic Spotlight. This is supposed to be a motion-activated solar light. Let's see if it works in today's video. All right, guys, this is one that's been pretty heavily requested lately. I guess it's been advertised on television recently. Let's take a look at the Bionic Spotlight and see how it actually works. As you can see from the packaging, we've got motion activated up to 25 feet, solar powered, weather resistant, eco-friendly, 8 super bright LED lights. No batteries, no wires. Here we go. We have instructions. We have the mandatory arbitration agreement and a quick guide. All right, looks like over here we've got some mounting screws. That's good. Seems to come in one complete unit. It appears to be a stake. I'll read these instructions over before I get started. So before I get too far into this, I have to mount this outside and then it has to charge up. And they say to use a location with a lot of sun exposure, which makes sense. So I gotta find a south-facing place in my house, install this, and then see how it actually works. So let me go outside and get started. All right, step one from the instructions, remove the mounting plate. Fortunately, that's pretty easy. Step 2 is drill holes matching this pattern. Now they say not to hang it next to an existing light. I'm just going to turn my Sunblast off because I think it'd be good to have not only have the 3 of these from Everbright in 2016, Sunblast from I think 18, Bionic Spotlight in 20. Even though I can't use them at the same time, it'd be nice to have a comparison. The Sunblast still works. So I'm going to put it right there. Steps 3 and 4, I attach the Bionic Spotlight to the base, adjust it, raise up the solar panel, make sure I turn it on. Where's the switch? Make sure I turn it on with that switch, then wait for tonight and see how it works. It seems pretty easy to adjust. It's actually quite adjustable. It can go a lot of different angles. I kind of like it. For right now, I'm just going to leave it like this. Tonight I can adjust a little bit more. Solar panel's facing south. I'm going to leave my Sunblast off because it'll compete with it, but maybe I'll do a comparison tonight and see which one's brighter, the 2-year-old Sunblast or the brand new Bionic Spotlight. Should be fun. I'm going to take the first glance at this. I noticed there's a red light that blinks in there like a fake security camera, which is kind of cool. See if I can get close to it without it turning on. Kind of see it right there. Now let's see how bright it is. I mean, it's kind of bright, I guess. I don't think it's as bright as the Atomic Beam Sunblast. I'll compare those in a minute here, but let me just take a look at the range first. All right, I'm at 27 feet away. I have a low light lens on. It's actually not nearly this bright out here as far as what my camera's showing, but that sidewalk is 25 feet, which is supposed to be the range. I'm gonna walk sideways and see if 27 feet can actually set it off. All right, nothing for 27 feet. I'm exactly at 25 feet now. Oh, there you go, okay. 25 feet did work. That seems pretty accurate then. The Bionic Spotlight stays on for 30 seconds before it goes off. I think the deluxe model stays on for 60 seconds. Let's see how wide the motion detection is. All right, here we go. I'm gonna move sideways. So I'm at about almost a 45-degree angle from the Bionic Spotlight. So I mean, it's not bad. What I'm gonna do now is compare the brightness with the Atomic Beam Sunblast. All right, I've got my camera set to all manual settings, so nothing should change when the light goes on. First up, I'll show you the Bionic Spotlight with the Sunblast on low, which is right here. How does that look? And now what I'll do is I'll show you the Bionic Spotlight next to the Sunblast on high. Right there. Which one looks better? Standing right below it, and you can see it blinks. There's a red light that blinks. And a car just drove by and it came on. So its range is definitely more than 25 feet. in some cases, not all. The 2-year-old Sunblast is on high, is about as bright as the Bionic Spotlight, which is brand new. I'm not sure if that's really impressive or not. We have more tests to do, including to see if it lasts all night. It's after midnight. Let's see how bright it is still. Oh, I mean, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it looks about as bright as it was before. So some people were saying that it didn't last till midnight. I guess it depends on how much traffic you have through your area and how often it is set off. In my house, a lot of cars are setting it off. It seems like it's still doing pretty well. I've been using this for about a week now, and here are my final observations. The first thing I would say is that the range is about what they say it's supposed to be. They say 25 feet, and I found that to be accurate, although it seems like it's affected by the size of the object and the distance. Like, I have cars driving by outside of the 25-foot range that do set it off, but when I walked by on the street, it didn't. So the size of the object might affect the upper limit of the range of 25 feet. As far as the battery goes, I think how often it's set off throughout the night is going to affect how much the battery lasts throughout the night. If you're in an area where there's a lot of people or animals or cars that are setting it off, it probably won't last all night. If you're in an area that's a little bit more moderate to low traffic areas, it probably will. And as with other solar lights, you're a bit limited as to where you can place the Bionic Spotlight. Well, I can't really put it in here because there's no sun right here. There's nowhere to put it over here either because this side of the house is in the shade almost all day. The back of my house faces north, so it's in the shade almost all day. I can't really put it back here either. It'd be hard to find a place by my front door to put it because my front door is in the shade too. Not to mention, there's also the problem with the wintertime when you actually have less daylight in general. And not to mention, they don't want you to have it up in the wintertime as it is, which I'll get to in a minute. And that brings me to my cons. There's a couple of cons worth mentioning. The first one being, what's in the instructions is that they want you to take it down in the winter months because they say that the cold weather could negatively affect it. Now that's kind of a problem because the website says it's weather resistant and year-round durable, and then the Amazon listing says it's frost resistant, so I can see why people would buy that and live in colder climates. They would be upset because the website and the Amazon listing say one thing and the instructions say something else. The other problem that was reported on Amazon that I did not experience was that people were saying that it was turning on throughout the night without any kind of motion at all. It was draining the battery quickly. I don't doubt that happened to them, but I did not experience it myself. What's funny is I actually saw similar complaints about the Everbright and the Atomic Beam Sunblast, which are still sitting out there. The Everbright lasted 13 months, but it didn't have the same problems that other people were complaining about. The Sunblast, the same thing. It's going at 30 months now and it's still going strong. So we'll see if the Bionic Spotlight can hold up. I'm not going to take it down in the winter, even though we get below freezing temperatures here in Las Vegas. I'm just going to see what happens. But in the end, I think the Bionic Spotlight is okay. It didn't really overly impress me. I think it worked pretty well. I think that the fact that they want you to take it down in the winter is a huge deal breaker for a lot of people. If it was me, I'd probably stick with a Sunblast or other options out there that don't require you to take it down in the wintertime. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.